For a party that spent years tied up with the Russia collusion hoax, 2 failed impeachments, a smear campaign of Brett Kavanaugh, and the revamping of election laws, the Democrats sure do love to tout that the end of democracy is nigh.
You know what they'll ask me? Is America going to be all right? What about democracy in America?
If especially he had a Congress that would do his bidding, you will not recognize our country. I think that could be the end of our democracy.
The demise of democracy. It's happening before our eyes.
They reward those, the Republicans essentially, not all, but most Republicans with power, which puts us one step closer to basically ending this democracy.
What does that mean, the end of our democracy? Well, it really means they're losing. Joe Biden's agenda is failing and their poll numbers are sinking like the Lusitania. It's not democracy that isn't working. It's just that right now, it's not working for them. So like I said the other night, it's time to change the rules of the game before the clock runs out on their majority. If you lose, change the game. Federalize elections, widespread mail-in balloting, pack the courts. It's happening every day right under our noses. Don't believe me? Just take a look at Hillary's hatchet attorney, Mark Elias, who's already openly plotting to change the next election. Quote, Republicans are worse than ever and their attack on democracy continues. For 22 and 24, our best hope remains new federal legislation and aggressive litigation. Change the game. Cripple democracy, all in the name of saving democracy. Victor Davis Hanson has written extensively on this, and he joins us now. VDH, great to see you tonight. What is the true attack on democracy?
Well, it's not what they're saying, Will. They have a talking point. If you notice, it's an echo chamber, Atlantic Magazine, New York Times, Washington Post, Adam Schiff, Hillary Clinton. So they've got a talking point and says, let's say that democracy is going to end in 2024, maybe 2022. Some of them have a little variation. So what's changed from, remember November of 2020 when they told us democracy worked really well, it was resilient, it was tough, it withstood the Trump challenge, the system was sound. So what's changed in the 11 months? And that is that Joe Biden has the lowest poll numbers of any first-year president in modern memory, and that every single issue is not only that he's enacted as policy has not only hurt the country, but it has no support. So they're mad, as you say. They're not mad that democracy isn't working. They're worried that it's going to work too well and they're going to lose power. And it's really ironic, and they're always guilty of projection. So here are people who have been working 24/7. Let's get rid of the 233-year-old electoral college because we don't have any more confidence in the blue wall every 4 years. Let's get rid of 233 years old prerogative of the states to set their own ballot laws in national election. Let's get rid of a 180-year custom of the filibuster. Let's get rid of 150 years of 9-person Supreme Court. We could go on. 60 years of 50 states. Just because they can't get another 4 senators without that. So they are the radicals that want to change a constitutional republic into a radical Jacobin, I don't know what you would call it, a mobocracy. And they're angry because they're terrified they're going to lose power. And when they lose power, the system doesn't work. And when they get back power, the system runs beautifully. And it's simple as that.
Well, I don't know that it is as simple as that. You made something very complicated simple for us. It is absolutely undeniable that one party is looking to change the foundation of the American system, and you so eloquently laid out the many ways they are attempting to do so, from the Supreme Court to the number of states in this country. And yet they've developed this verbal tick, Victor, of the Republicans are going to end democracy. And it seems like the Democratic Party does adopt these verbal ticks. They kind of come in and out of fashion, maybe in 12, 18-month cycles, racial justice, in democracy. Where do these come from? And by the way, as long as we're at it, tell us what the next one will be if you have any insight.
They come from political handlers because these are not imaginative people. They're not independent thinking people. They get some kind of politico to give an email. These are the talking points for the next 3 weeks. just keep drilling into the American people. They have very little confidence in the intelligence of the American people, who are a lot smarter than they are. And they do two things. They try to change the system, and they try to change the demography by opening the border and welcoming. And they're both blowing up in their face. They got an unpopular president. They got an unpopular agenda. They got backlash at these efforts to change the system. And now we see in the Wall Street Journal poll that a lot of Hispanics are tired of being talked down to by these elite people. And I think they're going to lose a lot of the people in the Hispanic community. And as soon as they do, you watch what will happen. They'll say, we got to close the borders. We've got to make sure that we don't have any illegal immigration, even though they thought this was going to be a big bonanza. So they have no principled agenda, no trajectory that is based on facts and empiricism. They just are sort of like a billiard ball. They just bounce all over depending on where they feel the route to power and control is.
Well, there's a little over a year left with the majority of their power, with a majority in power, and we'll see which rule they're successful in changing, be it Supreme Court justices, be it federalizing the election. But this will be the priority. This will be the New Year's resolution. This will be 2022. Victor Davis Hanson, so insightful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.